Hi guys, we're the Travel Beths and welcome back to our channel.
So in today's video we're going to be covering our trip from Phuket over to Koh Phangan for the full moon party. So we're going to be covering how much everything costs, our journey over there, where we stayed, and we also have a little confession to make.
Let's go. We're currently staying in Thong, so we had to get up at 6 AM to get a 7 AM taxi over to Phuket bus station Terminal 2. It's based on the other side of Phuket. We booked a taxi on Grab. It cost 474 baht, but that's only because it was so early. It's usually around 500 baht to get there. So our transfer from Phuket bus station on Terminal 2 to Koh Phangan was a coach followed by a ferry. We put these tickets on 12 Go. We've actually booked all of our transfers and travelled across Thailand on that website as well. It's just the best one that we've found in terms of prices. So we've linked the website to 12 Go below if you want to check it out. Our ticket cost 700 baht each, so that covered the 5-hour coach journey from Phuket bus station to Surat Thani, and then also the ferry, which was 2.5 hours, which took me from Surat Thani to Koh Phangan. We set off at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we arrived in Koh Phangan at 4:30 in the afternoon.
So we pre-booked our hostel in Thong, Sala, which is close to the pier, which made it really easy to get off the boat and walk straight to our hostel. I think it took about 10 minutes. Because we've been there before as well, we knew that we really liked the area, and it's a lot cheaper to stay up in Thong Sala than it is in Hard Rin, as that's where the full moon party is. So our hostel was called the House of Happiness, and it was actually really nice. So for the 2 nights that we stayed there, it was 1,050 baht. Our room had a double bunk bed and it was really spacious, so it had plenty of room for us to get ready. As well, on the roof terrace there was like hammocks and places that you could go and chill out. It also had a downstairs kitchen and a back yard thing where everyone could get together and chill out. So yeah, we really enjoyed it, and for what we paid it was really worth it. So we've also linked this below as well if you are interested. We would recommend that hostel, it was really, really good.
When we did get to Koh Phangan, we went to the Koh Phangan food court, which is a few minutes walk away from the hostel, which is another positive of the hostel. The food court is usually a lot busier than in the clips, but there were some markets on from the pier to the hostel, so we think that that's probably why. Luckily, our favourite store was open. There's a really nice organic salad bar that's just in the top right hand corner of the food court. It's kind of like Subway, you get to pick and choose what bits and bobs you want in your salad. It's 139 baht for 7 items. Ingredients.
So the salads are pretty substantial and exactly what you need before you're going on a big night out. So once we finished them, we headed back to the hostel and we managed to get ready in record time, and then we went down to the terrace and we sat there having a drink. Then we met another traveller who then told us that the full moon party happened to be the night before and we had managed to miss it. So that's the confession we needed to break. So we found that quite a lot of other people had done the same thing as us and booked for the full moon being on the Saturday, and were unaware that it had changed to the Friday. It was something to do with there being a bank holiday, so it had been moved, and apparently there was quite a lot of talk about this. So
we just didn't get the memo.
Yeah, we clearly didn't get the memo and happened to miss it. We did feel though that this was quite a good example of when you do go travelling, these things do happen, and you kind of have to stay positive, optimistic, and
be resilient.
Yeah, ride the wave.
Yeah.
We had heard that there was another really good party, and we've been recommended this of quite a few people, called the Secret Eden Party. So we just decided, you know what, we've missed the full moon, we'll head down to Hard Rin. Yeah, all dressed up. We'll
see what happens.
Head down to Hard Rin and go to the Eden Party. So we will be covering that. But for now, luckily, we did go to the full moon party last month, so we are going to give an overview of the details for the full moon party from last month, and then we can kind of give you an overview of the prices, what to expect and things like that.
If you're staying near the port in Thong Sala, like we did, you'll have to get a taxi from there to Hadrin Beach for the full moon party. This costs a standard 150 baht per person. Once you get to Hadrin Beach, you'll find that the beach and the surrounding areas are absolutely packed full of people. Last month there was around 30,000 people there. I think there's supposed to be even more this year, wasn't there? And then it's only going to get busier too as the peak season kicks in. So everybody wears luminous, everybody gets the face painted. This design on screen costs around 100 baht. The people that are doing it are pretty amazing as well. And then it's 100 baht to actually enter the beach for the full moon party.
So the most common thing to drink is a bucket. So you can get these for 300 baht, and they literally have buckets along the side of the roads, and they have in them a bottle of spirit, a bottle of mixer, and a little brown, we're assuming it's
Red Bull
yeah, some kind of Red Bull, and you pick your bucket and they pour it all in, hand it over to you. They're pretty lethal, so if you do want to last the whole night, we don't recommend pre-drinking too much. They're more than enough when you get there, and a lot of people said the night after that they had to cut the night short because they got a bit too giddy on these buckets. So when you're there, there's loads of stuff going on. So there's fire throwers, there's people with fire skipping ropes, there's decorations all over the beach of like psychedelic jellyfish, there's trance music playing everywhere, and everyone just kind of dances in the ocean. Everyone's there to rave and have a really good night, and it really does live up to its name. It's an absolutely amazing night. The streets are also covered with food stalls, so if you do want to head off and grab some food while you're there, like yeah, there's everything that you need on the Hadrin Beach, and there's also little stalls to buy lots of random little glowy things that feel like a really good idea.
And angel crowns.
Yeah, when you've had a few too many to drink, you'll probably end up buying a few of these.
Okay, so moving on to the Eden party. So this is an event that's on every Saturday in Koh Phangan, and it's always on the day after the full moon party as well. That is probably the best day to go, just because there's so many travellers on the island. Any other time of month the island can feel quite quiet and pretty much deserted. So if you're staying in Thong Sala, then you need to get back over to Hadrin Beach to get to the Eden party, so you would need to pay that 150 baht in a taxi there again. Once you're at Hadrin, you need to get a tailboat over to Hadjuan Beach, which costs 300 baht. So you can find the tickets for the boat on a little stand on Hadrin Beach.
So the Eden party is a psychedelic themed party that is apparently run by some hippies and expats that live on Hadjuan Beach. So when you get there on the tailboat, you have to get out of the tailboat, you kind of have to walk through the sea and then take a ride up the beach. If you follow the route to the right, then you come to kind of a walkway, and it is a bit of a hike, so it can be a bit difficult in the dark. We managed to get
flip-flops.
Yeah, and in flip-flops. As you can see, we did manage to get lost, but you can find your way. You just have to follow the music and you will find it. When we kind of arrived, we looked to our right and seen the road that we were supposed to take, and it does seem pretty simple. We just like to make life difficult, apparently. So once you're inside, you do get asked not to film. However, I was kind of filming on my way in, so I did get a little bit of a snippet of what it is like, so it'll kind of give you an idea of what to expect. So you then spend the night dancing to trance music, everyone's having a boogie, and everyone seems to be on a really good One Love vibe. It is a lot of fun, and we definitely recommend you head over there if you do like to have a little bit of a rave.
So on to the important stuff. So they don't take card at the bar, so do make sure that you bring enough cash to fund your night. The buckets are 300 baht for Thai spirits, but they do go up if you want more expensive spirits in there. They are quite big, quite strong, so they do keep you going for a good few hours, but just make sure you have enough cash to fund that. The boat journey home is another 300 baht, and it is absolutely essential that you put that money aside. If you can't pay for that boat home, then you're not getting home. Not without swimming or taking a 3-hour hike through the jungle, which is not fun.
So most people do stay until after sunrise, and the boat journey home isn't the most fun, as you can imagine. They're also pretty filthy, so wearing white wasn't our greatest ideas, although it did look quite nice in the luminescent lights. Something else to note is that getting a taxi back from Hardering to Thong Sala can be quite difficult if it's like early morning. So it is 150 baht still, but the taxis don't tend to set off back up to Thong Sala unless the taxi's pretty much full. So unless you have about 5 or 6 people in the taxi, they'll literally just make you wait, and you can end up stranded in Hardering, not feeling the greatest. So we do recommend to take that into consideration and maybe group up with a few people that you know are going in the same direction, just to make it a little bit easier if you are heading back after the sunrise.
So if you do decide to stay on the island, then you can rent a scooter for 250 baht for 24 hours. The island is absolutely beautiful, so there are lots of things to explore and lots of things to do. One of our favourite beaches was Thong Sala Beach. And we also recommend visiting Bantip night markets because the food is really good and really cheap as well. Another one of our favourite places is Amsterdam Bar. It's probably one of the best places on the island to watch the sunset. You really can't miss that spot. It's probably one of the best places in Thailand that we have been to.
Yeah, definitely can't miss it. So the journey home from Koh Phangan to Phuket is pretty much the reverse of the journey there. We do recommend getting to the port as early as you can, as there are literally hundreds of people all trying to get on the boats at 8 o'clock in the morning. So make sure you get there with plenty of time. Go grab some snacks from 7-Eleven, which is just across the road as well, and make sure you get yourself some water and lots of fluids after your weekend on the island partying for 2 days.
So that was our weekend in Koh Phangan. We did manage to miss the full moon party, but we cannot recommend the Eden party enough, and we are kind of glad that it happened, because otherwise we wouldn't have made it 2 nights and we wouldn't have gone there. And as we said before as well, it is a really good example of plans changing, you having to adapt and be resilient when you are travelling. Our plan is to head back to Koh Phangan in October to actually go to the full moon party this time. Trust me, nobody wants it more than us, so we will eventually document it and give you the full overview of the full moon party.
We've linked as many things as possible in the description, so if you do want to have a look at the places that we stayed and ate, then you can take a look at the links. If you do have any questions or we've missed anything, then please leave a comment and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We have so much more exciting stuff to share with you. So hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yay!
Bye!
Bye!